Welcome to Creative Intuition Tarot. My name is MJ, and this is a general collective reading for the first decade of September, so 1st through to the 10th. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below, but please remember that because it is a collective reading, the messages are intended to explain the overarching higher energies that impact us, that we react to collectively at the time of the reading. Okay, so they will always resonate slightly different for everyone, and they may apply to any sphere of life. So as always, please listen with an open mind. Take the messages as they resonate for you and apply to your situation. Okay, today I will be pulling out a major arcana from this modern art deck to set out the scene. This deck is only major arcana, so we will see what is the overarching theme or the key lesson in the first decade of September, and then we will go deeper with one of the tarot decks, maybe two, we'll see. So with that being said, let's jump straight into it. And let's see what is the overarching theme or the key lesson. Thank you. For the first decade of September for the collective, we have the Lovers. Beautiful. So first of all, obviously, this is a card of love, right? Destined connection, very committed, extremely emotionally and physically bonded unions, right? This is also deep physical connection and attraction. So definitely love is in the air, but it doesn't have to be a romantic partnership, even though primarily it will speak of, well, lovers, as the name suggests. It is any kind of, to me, it is about any kind of connections that are kind of soul bond, okay, very deeply emotionally connected, okay. But this card is also a card of major life choices, right? Because it is a major arcana, it will never speak of mundane daily choices. This is a major life choice that determines at least our nearest future, but major arcanas usually indicate long-term effect or impact, right? The Lover's card is about the time where we leave, symbolically, when we grow up, we leave our family's nest and we go to create our own. So those kind of major life choices about the next direction, perhaps a choice of a person when it comes to connections, but major life choices and a lot of lover choices related to those deep, as I said, soul bond connections, okay? There's Justice at the bottom of the deck, so maintaining ethical balance, remaining balanced between the mind and the heart. Perhaps when making those major choices, right? So balance between our emotions and our logical mind is extremely important. Justice card is also about doing what's right. So again, coming back to making choices, but also perhaps doing what's right when it comes to the way we handle those deep and important connections, right? The Justice reminds every action has consequence. And be aware of what you put on the scales, right? So that's a beautiful message for the first decade of September. I think we will go with this beautiful Russian tarot to get a little more details on the first decade of September for the collective. What else is it that we need to know? Let's start with pulling 3 cards, and we will be building the storyline based on their messages. Okay, we have 2. We have the Page of Swords, we have the Hermit, and one more. The Page of Swords can be about a message. Pages represent apprentice, beginners, so new beginnings, a young-hearted energy, youthful spirit, something new, fresh perspective. Okay, one more card please, and I will go with this one. 7 of Swords and 7 of Coins at the bottom of the deck. I will leave that for now. So we have the Page of Swords, the Hermit, and the 7 of Swords. And I started with the Page of Swords, so let me actually put them that way so that we can focus on the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords, air element, is about the mental level of our consciousness, intellectual, right? It can be a message, can be communication coming in, or it can be sending communication, but primarily it makes me think of incoming messages, but Page of Swords is about an inquisitive mind, okay? It can even be like spying energy. Definitely seeking information, seeking to know more and more, being very curious, okay? So that youthful spirit, as I said, it may be about a new perspective, a fresh perspective. So our mind is setting on a new vision, is opening up to something fresh. Now with the Hermit, I do think it is a result of the effort put previously into being in the Hermit mode, okay? Because the Hermit is all about being silent for a time, shutting out external influence, and retreating into solitude to listen to our inner wisdom, right? The Hermit is almost like the self-mastery card in that inner wisdom. He not only has the innate knowing like the High Priestess, so intuitive, right? That almost that ancient wisdom that comes from the universe, right? But he also has his experiences gained through his life so far, the results of whatever research or explorations he has made of topics of his interest. So his experience, because he was learning, and he was also going very deep within to listen to that inner voice. So I feel that this fresh perspective is almost coming within us. It's more than on the mental level. It's almost as if our inner knowing receives some inner perspective, with the Hermit that carries that lamp. This is his wisdom that guides him and lights up his way. It almost makes me feel that this fresh perspective comes on a soul or almost spiritual level. It's like this deep knowing comes across fresh realizations, okay? That's what it makes me think. And it's really this youthful spirit that I mentioned when I was talking about the Page of Swords. That's what it makes me think. And the Seven of Swords, that is traditionally a card of lies, deception, illusions, okay? Someone can be working behind our back to weaken us. That's why lying, right? Putting masks on, deceiving. But this is also that self-talk that we put to ourselves. Our ego mind is creating like, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm never gonna get where I desire to be, okay? Again, this comes back to not being worthy enough. Again, because the Hermit is the major arcana, it like beats or clarifies those two cards, right? I feel that because the Hermit is facing the Page of Swords, while he's turned his back on the Seven of Swords. So I think that fresh perspective and that youthful spirit, but youthful but very wise at the same time, this fresh perspective adds to the Hermit's wisdom and experience. And for this reason, he's able to walk away from the Seven of Swords. So this is not coming, this is actually the self-mastery with the Hermit that I mentioned. He's able to finally leave that behind like once and for all. Okay, or at least there's a huge potential for this to happen. There's justice, so definitely there is rewards for effort previously invested, right? So, and the Hermit was definitely very diligently going within and listening, or if not, then we are advised to do so, right? But the effort that we put, every action has consequences, so the justice will be served, even if it's like our mental justice, right? Justice is being put to the effort that we have put into getting rid of that self-limiting talk. With the Lovers, again, we may be facing that choice. It's like a mental choice. Do I stay or do I move towards the new? That's where the decision point comes into play. And the Lovers advise us or encourage us to make choices from the place of love. So for the benefit primarily of ourselves and others too. So that would obviously suggest going into that fresh new perspective direction rather than this self-hurting mental attitude. The Seven of Coins at the bottom of the deck. This is that patient, persistent work that brings an abundant crop. But again, that diligence is put into that process. and allowing things also to unfold and grow in their own pace. So a lot of patience. This process, even if we have already went through that hermit mode very intensively, this work never stops. I feel it's just like a reminder to keep going. The diligent work needs to continue. Even if we accomplish this, this doesn't go away. That attitude should stay with us permanently. That attitude of being diligent towards whatever we put our engagement into. If we want a just and desired result to come, okay? And I'll leave it there. That's a beautiful energy for the first decade of September. There are choices, which means that we have influence on the situation. Everything depends on us, right? So that's very empowering, but it also puts responsibility into our hands. So I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing, liking. Again, that really helps the channel grow. It was a pleasure to do the reading for you. As always, please take care of yourself, and I hope to see you soon.